What if I told you that the Overwatch 2 alpha is already here and that Blizzard is sneaking it right under our noses? Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Miles, and today I want to talk about why you have already been testing Overwatch 2 and you don't even know it. But before we do that, if you like the video, go over to the like button and smash it, and then go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not already by clicking the subscribe button and then the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Also, I stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/MrMilesTV. Now let's get into it. Back in November during Blizzcon 2019, when Overwatch 2 was announced, Blizzard told us that besides the updated models to Tracer, Lucio, and Reinhardt, and the new PvP mode called Push, Overwatch 2 would also feature two new PvE modes in the form of story missions, replayable scenarios done with a select group of heroes to help tell the story of Overwatch, and hero missions, heavily replayable individual hero stories equipped with a talent progression system for each of our faithful heroes. During BlizzCon, we got our first look at how these progression systems would work, having different tiers open up at levels 1, 10, and 20 with the ability to select one of two talents to customize and impact your playstyle. For instance, Tracer's tier 1 talent bracket would allow you to have either faster reloading or a pulse bomb with a chain reaction ability that gives you secondary explosions on enemies that are damaged by it. Higher tier talents would give you a vortex ability that pulls enemies towards it, much like Zarya's Graviton Surge, or you could select the speed kills talent that when you kill an enemy, it helps speed up the cooldowns of your other abilities. Mei would have her own set of talents with the ability to have frozen enemies shattered upon death, dealing damage to other enemies around them, or when Mei comes out of her cryo-freeze, she could instantly freeze nearby enemies in their place to quickly get away or set up another player's ultimate. All of these abilities add a bit of flavor and variety in how your hero will play, and depending on the situation you are facing, you may have to change up your playstyle and abilities to be victorious. Now, what does all of this have to do with the topic of this video? Well, let me tell you. Fast forward to present day and a little feature known as experimental cards. In one of the recent developer updates, we got a summary of the experimental card edition, and that it acts as a bit of a testing ground for aggressive hero changes and potential mode changes that might only have made it to the PTR for PC players. But now with the experimental card, these modes and changes would be coming to the core game for all players, PC and console alike. Our first experimental card gave us a different take on the current role lock system, with now 3 DPS, 2 heals, and 1 tank. To counteract only having 1 tank, Blizzard did some buffing, let's say, to the cast of tank heroes. Some of the tanks received just some minor buffs and cooldown reductions to help supplement them for being the only tanks, but 2 heroes specifically received something a bit different to each of them. Roadhog received a modified version to take a breather that, instead of a simple self-heal, would now leave behind a cloud of healing when used, and would heal all allies within it for 25 health per second, and provide 25% damage reduction. Zarya's particle barrier would now include a passive that, when placed on an ally, all allies within 8 meters of that target would also receive a particle barrier. These new modified abilities made these 2 heroes extremely hard to kill. I mean, Roadhog was practically unkillable, and if you were playing Zarya with a Mei and a Brig, that combination was just so incredibly tough to take out. Now, why do these 2 heroes get such drastic modifications to their kit? Was it because they are, 2 heroes without any type of shield, and in a team fight with only 1 tank wouldn't stand a chance? Maybe Blizzard just honestly wanted to test out how a healing fart cloud would go over in the Overwatch community, or maybe it had nothing to do with the new experimental mode at all. Maybe Blizzard knew that the 3-2-1 role lock probably wouldn't go over well, but they wanted to test out how these abilities would play without them being too overpowered in the current 2-2-2 role lock. Now, could you imagine having these 2 heroes with those abilities in our current meta? It would make them completely overpowered. They were super tanky, so having them with a pair with a Reinhardt, or even just together, would just be an insane combination. So if Blizzard truly did not believe in the 3-2-1 role lock, what would be the reasoning behind creating a whole new feature in the game with the experimental card and a whole new 3-2-1 role lock if they weren't intending to use the new role lock for the live game? Because I believe Now hear me out on this one. I believe they are slipping aspects of Overwatch 2 right under our noses and allowing us, the players, to test them out in the current version of the game. Now, I know you must be thinking, Miles, you're crazy, and you are right, I am, but what better way of testing out new and innovative, aggressive ideas that they may have in store for Overwatch 2 than letting us get our hands on little pieces of it early on to see how we react to it and how these changes actually play within its customer base instead of its in-house developers and testers. Look, it's no secret that Blizzard has made some missteps in the past and have been accused of being out of touch with its player base. I think this experimental card is a bit of an olive branch and potential proof that they are listening to their player base and value our input on some of the ideas they have in store for Overwatch 2. I believe the new cloud version of Take a Breather and the multi-particle barrier are just a taste of the types of ability modifiers we might see in Roadhog and Zarya's talent progression systems in Overwatch 2. I think they line right up with the types of talent modifiers we have seen, from Tracer, from Mei, from Reinhardt. I believe Lucio's was also shown off, as well as Torb's. So it would be no surprise if these particular talent modifiers that we've seen in the experimental card make it into Overwatch 2. In fact, going forward, I will be treating all experimental cards as if I am playing little pieces of Overwatch 2. Little alpha nuggets, if you will. After all, each hero ability buff or modifier or potential wacky game mode just might be something on Blizzard's Overwatch 2 checklist, and I implore you to do the same. But not everything is going to scream this is going to be in Overwatch 2, but there might be something small, something hidden, something Blizzard might think they are being really sneaky about, and that just might make it in. But I guess we'll have to find out more for sure once more info on Overwatch 2 comes out. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, smash that like button. If you aren't subscribed, why the hell not? Click that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. Also, if you'd like to hear more on this topic and others like it, I help run a podcast. It's called It's Always Sunny in Stormwind, where we cover everything under the Blizzard sun, from Overwatch to World of Warcraft and other Blizzard titles. Just three dudes who like Blizzard games that bicker like a bunch of little kids, and occasionally we'll say some nice things about each other. But you can find the podcast pretty much wherever you listen to your podcasts, and I will include the links in the description down below. And as a reminder, I do stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/MrMilesTV. Anyway, guys, it's been real. Now go with honor, and please move behind the barrier.